Hello everyone, welcome back to Planet Affairs. Tonight, we are following a breaking and shocking moment from American television, where Prince Harry has once again found himself at the center of controversy, this time involving veteran journalist Diane Sawyer, in what viewers are already calling one of the most uncomfortable interviews ever broadcast. The exchange quickly spiraled from calm discussion to visible confrontation and humiliation on live TV. Millions watched in disbelief as the prince's composure unraveled under tough questioning, marking another damaging chapter in his already complicated relationship with the media. The interview was intended to be a reflective segment on legacy, responsibility, and the meaning of public life. But from the first few minutes, tension could be felt, the air thick with unease as Diane Sawyer introduced her guest with her signature poised tone. She began by framing the conversation around redemption and truth in modern royalty. What followed, however, was anything but routine. According to multiple eyewitnesses in the control room, Sawyer's calm questioning began to pierce deeper into Harry's personal and family issues, including his controversial memoir, his statements about his father, King Charles, and his criticism of the British press. The audience sensed growing friction as Harry's tone shifted from cautious diplomacy to visible frustration. Within 10 minutes, the interview that began as polite dialogue turned into a clash of control. Diane Sawyer, known for her ability to remain composed under pressure, refused to back down. She asked if Prince Harry believed his public advocacy for transparency applied equally to himself. Did he regret monetizing private royal matters? Did he think his public criticism of his own family contributed to public fatigue over royal drama? According to sources close to production, Harry's jaw tightened, his body language grew defense. If his hands clasped as his voice hardened, he accused the interviewer of sensationalism, of twisting his message, of trying to create viral outrage rather than meaningful discussion. Sawyer responded calmly, stating that accountability was part of leadership, whether royal or private, and the tone of the room changed completely. The audience quieted, even the background hum of studio lights felt louder. Moments later, Harry reportedly interrupted her mid-sentence, saying, "You're doing exactly what the British tabloids do," and that statement hung in the air. Sawyer paused, and with the faintest smile said, "With all due respect, I'm not a tabloid, I'm a journalist." What happened next has now gone viral across every major social platform. The prince leaned forward, removed his microphone, and muttered something under his breath which microphones barely caught before he rose and attempted to end the interview. Diane Sawyer looked directly at the camera, her voice steady, saying, "We'll take a short break," as the production team scrambled to cut the feed. Millions watching saw the awkward seconds unfold, unfiltered, the camera capturing Harry's frustrated expression and Sawyer's unshaken composure. Before the network switched to commercials, the moment instantly became headline news. Clips of the incident flooded X, YouTube, TikTok, and news portals under hashtag #HarryClash, #LiveTV Meltdown, and #Diane Sawyer. In the hours following the broadcast, public reaction has been fierce, with commentators split down the middle. Some viewers argue that Diane Sawyer crossed a line, pushing Harry into emotional territory for ratings. Others claim she simply did her job, holding a powerful figure accountable. But most agree the optics were devastating for the prince, once again reminding the public of his fraught relationship with the media and the constant struggle to control his own narrative. Within hours, several media outlets, including Sky News, BBC, CNN, and Dun News, released analysis segments dissecting every second of the footage. Journalists replayed the exact moment Harry's expression shifted, the sound of him removing the mic. The second Sawyer calmly turned toward camera, experts in media psychology are now calling the confrontation a masterclass in composure versus defensiveness. The clash symbolized two worlds colliding: Harry representing celebrity, vulnerability, and media fatigue; Sawyer representing institutional journalism, unshaken by emotion. According to sources inside ABC, executives had not anticipated the confrontation to escalate so quickly. The interview was expected to boost ratings, but the level of conflict has now forced the network into crisis management mode. Producers have reportedly edited a sanitized version for rebroadcast, removing some off-script comments, while the uncut footage continues to dominate online platforms. Inside the royal family, the reaction has been one of concern and frustration. Insiders say that the palace had no prior knowledge of the interview's tone, but expected it to focus on humanitarian issues, not confrontation. One aide privately admitted that the segment has further eroded trust between Harry and senior family members, some of whom feel his American media appearances keep backfiring, drawing attention to controversy rather than cause. Others within Harry's circle, however, believe he is unfairly targeted by veteran journalists seeking viral moments. They argue that Sawyer went beyond Professional boundaries attempting to publicly corner the prince into an emotional breakdown. Meanwhile, across digital media, the memes have exploded. Side-by-side comparisons show Harry's frustrated look next to Sawyer's composed smile, generating millions of views. The clip is now among the most shared media moments of the week, trending in both the United States and the United Kingdom, as well as in Canada and Australia. The fallout continues, with PR strategists predicting reputational damage that could take months to repair. Some analysts suggest this event could permanently alter Harry's media approach, possibly leading to fewer live interviews and more pre-recorded controlled appearances. From a public relations standpoint, the incident raises questions about celebrity vulnerability versus accountability. When does media questioning cross into provocation? And when does walking away become an admission of defeat? Television history is filled with walkouts and breakdowns, but this confrontation feels different because it exposes the delicate balance between emotional authenticity and brand control. Harry's recent efforts to reframe his public image as a speaker, advocate, and humanitarian now risk being overshadowed by this single televised clash, one that millions interpret as a sign of fragility under pressure. Hours later, a spokesperson for Prince Harry released a brief statement saying the interview took an unexpected turn that violated agreed boundaries and that Prince felt ambushed and misrepresented. ABC has declined to confirm or deny whether any such boundaries existed. While Diane Sawyer herself addressed the issue indirectly during another broadcast, saying journalism is about difficult questions, not comfortable answers, the statement was widely praised by peers and commentators who saw it as a defense of journalistic integrity, while critics argue it was a subtle way of asserting dominance over her guest on the streets of London. Reactions were mixed. Some saw the exchange as another example of the prince's inability to handle scrutiny, while others sympathized, calling Sawyer's approach cold and confrontational. In Los Angeles, Hollywood insiders whispered that the fallout might impact future media deals. Harry's media advisors are reportedly in emergency sessions planning response videos and perhaps an exclusive interview to reclaim narrative. The pattern has become familiar. Crisis erupts, social reaction explodes. Harry retreats, strategizes, and reemerges weeks later with a new statement or platform. Tonight, though, the world remembers only one image, a prince visibly frustrated, stripped of control before millions. The clip replayed endlessly on smartphones and TV screens across continents as pundits pick apart every gesture, every word, every pause. The contrast between Harry's raw emotion and Sawyer's icy calmness has become symbolic of a deeper cultural divide between celebrity vulnerability and traditional journalism. Audience saw something unscripted, uncomfortable, and perhaps revealing in a way no polished media piece ever could. For Planet Affairs, this story represents the collision of power, fame, and truth in modern media, the spectacle of image meeting interrogation where no amount of royal heritage can shield one from the reality of a live broadcast. As we continue to monitor reactions from both ABC and Prince Harry's team, this remains one of the most viral and divisive television moments of the year.